audible to all? Am I audible to all? Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are waiting for 1 and 2 minutes. After that, we'll start our class. So let us wait for joining the other. So previous day we are completed the complex integration. Na? So today we are going for the Laurent series and zero and singularity as well as the residue theorem of our complex number. So after that we will start this class. So let us wait for 1 minute to join other. So okay, we are starting our class. Those who are coming to join here, they can join here. So at first today we are going for the Laurent series. Is my screen is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for the Laurent series, here Laurent series give that if a function fz is analytic in the annulus region D bounded by two concentric circles C1 and C2 with center at the point z equal to alpha and radius R1 and R2, here obviously R1 radius R1 greater than R2, then for all z in D, fz should be written as summation n equal to 0 to infinity an z minus alpha whole to the power n plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn z minus alpha whole to the power minus n, where the value of an is given by Laurent, an equal to 1 by 2 pi I contour integration for C1 fz by z minus alpha whole to the power n plus 1 digit. Here n equal to 0, 1, 2 dot dot and bn equal to 1 by 2 pi contour integration C2 fz by z minus alpha whole to the power minus n plus 1 digit. Here n should start from 1, 2, 3. So what is the meaning of this Laurent series? If we take a circle here, here is a point, this is z equal to alpha. We find two concentric circles. This is the radius R2 and this is radius R1. Then this ring shaped area is the annulus region. This is called the annulus region. Right, this is the circle C1 and this is the circle C2. Z equal to alpha is the center. So they are the concentric circle. Center both of the cases. For C1 also center at Z equal to alpha. For C2 also Z equal to alpha. Then we are taking two concentric circle. One is the radius R2, another is radius R1. They are given it is that R1 greater than R2. So C1, the circle C1 is the bigger than C2. So within this part, this is called the annulus region. Annulus region. That is if fz is analytic in the annulus region D. So this is our D. This shaded area is our D. This is our D. Bounded by two concentric circles C1 and C2 with center at the point z equal to alpha and radius R1 R2. Then for all z in D, here every point z in D which are here, then we fz can be written as summation n equal to 0 to infinity an z minus alpha whole to the power n plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity. Look at here, here it is not n equal to 0 to infinity. Because of that, it is started at z minus alpha whole to the power minus n. So it will be started from n equal to 1. But previously, here it was n, so it is started from n equal to 0. So the value of the n is given by our Laurent 1 by 2 pi I contour integration along C1. fz by z minus alpha whole to the power n plus 1 digit, where n coming from running between 0 to n, and bn equal to 1 by 2 pi I contour integration along C2, fz by z minus alpha whole to the power minus n plus 1 digit, here n starting from 1, 2, 3. This is known as the Laurent series. Right? Say this an and bn are called the Laurent coefficient. An and bn are called the Laurent coefficient. And this Laurent series and Taylor series is not given in your syllabus, so we are not going for the discuss about the this Laurent series and the problem here. Because of that, it is not given in your syllabus. But this Laurent series is required to perform our next chapter, that is the zero singularity of an analytic function as well as residue theorem. So we are recall this Laurent series. Is this understood, this Laurent series? What is this? Any hesitation about this Laurent series?
No, sir.
सर एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा इस पे?
From Laurent series, the question will be not coming in your exam. For Laurent series particular, but you have to use this Laurent series to develop next part. So we recall this Laurent series. But as it is not in your syllabus, so question will be not asked from this part, right? So only we have to remember this Laurent series. What is Laurent series? That's enough for us. So we are going for the next part. What is required for our syllabus? Here it is given zero and singularity of an analytic function and residue theorem. This is very much required for your syllabus as well as your examination. So what is the zero? What is the singularity? What is the order? These are given here. Zero of an analytic function. That means if fz is an analytic function, for what value of z, f of z is equal to 0, that is called the zero of alpha. Here we are putting that z equal to alpha be a zero of an analytic function, then f of alpha should be 0. That means for what value of z, the functional value should be given 0. Z equal to that point is called the zero of that analytic function. Is it clear? For what value of z, the functional value should be 0. That will be called the zero of that analytic function. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can I give an example also? If we take that fz equal to z square minus 1, then f of 1 equal to 0 and f of minus 1, that is also 0. No? So z equal to 1 and minus 1 are the zeros of fz in this case. Now it is clear. If we given that fz equal to z square minus 1, obviously fz is analytic function, then value of f of 1 is 0 and value of f of minus 1 also 0. So z equal to 1 is the 0 of fz and z equal to minus 1 also 0 of fz. Now it is clear. Now we are going for the order of 0. If fz is analytic in a domain D and alpha belongs to D, then alpha is call of 0 of fz of order m. If f of alpha 0, f dash alpha 0, f dash alpha means first order derivative of fz at z equal to alpha. F double dash alpha means second order derivative of fz with respect to z at the point z equal to alpha. Like that, all are zeros except f of m alpha not equal to 0. F alpha to f of m minus 1 alpha equal to 0, but f of m alpha not equal to 0. Then we can say that z equal to alpha is a zero of order m. Now, what is a simple zero? Simple zero means a zero of order 1. A zero of order 1 of an analytic function. Of an analytic function is called a simple zero. Look at here. Here z equal to 1 and z equal to minus 1 both are the simple zero of fz equal to z square minus 1. Na? Because of that, if we put that z equal to 1 once, then it is given 0 and z equal to minus 1 once, not more than 1. So here we can say that z equal to 1 is a simple zero and z equal to minus 1 equal to simple zero. Right? Now we are going for most important thing, that is the singularity of an analytic function. Singularity of an analytic function. If a function fz is not analytic, fz is not analytic at the point z equal to alpha, then alpha is called the singularity. Then z equal to alpha is called the singularity. Or it can be said that singular point of fz. Singular point of fz. Now, if we say that fz, as for example, fz equal to z by z plus 1 into z minus 2. Now, if we put z equal to minus 1 or if we put z equal to plus 2, then fz is undefined. On that case, fz is undefined, isn't it? Look at here, fz equal to z by z plus 1 by z minus 2. So if we put z equal to minus 1,
Sure, sure.
then denominator should be 0. That means fz does not exist. If we put z equal to 2, then also denominator 0. That means fz does not exist. So z equal to minus 1 and z equal to 2. These are the singular point of given function fz. Is it clear now?
सर ऑर्डर ऑफ जीरो एक बार और बता दीजिए.
Order of 0. So let us take an example. Fz equal to z plus 2 whole square into z minus 3 whole cube, right? Now for what value of z it is 0? Actually it can be written that z plus 2 into z plus 2 z minus 3 into z minus 3 into z minus 3, right? So if we take that f of 2 minus 2, then it will be given 0. F of minus 2 and f of 3,
Yes, sir.
that is also 0. But how many times we can put f equal to minus 2? Two part is here. So f of minus 2 will be 0 twice and f of 3 equal to 0 thrice. So z equal to 2 minus 2 is a 0 of order 2 and z equal to 3 is a 0 of order 3. Is it clear right now? Fz is z plus 2 whole square
Yes,
and
sir.
minus 3 whole cube. So it can be written z plus 1, z plus 2 into z plus 2, and z minus 3 whole cube means z minus 3 into z minus 3 into z minus 3. When we put z equal to minus 2, here for this part also it is given 0, for this part also it is given 0. So z equal to minus 2 occurred twice. So z equal to minus 2, if we put twice z equal to minus 2, then it will be the functional value z of f of minus 2 equal to 0. So z equal to minus 2 is the 0 of order 2, and if we put z equal to 3 thrice, then it will be given 0. So z equal to 3 is the 0 of order 3. Now it is clear what is the order of 0.
Yes, sir.
And if one another thing is given here, look at here, z into 1, then z equal to 1. If we put z equal to 1, then also it is 0. So order of this equal to 1, that means z equal to 1 is a simple 0, right? Then z equal to 1 is a simple 0. Clear? Look
Yes,
at
sir.
here, 0 of order 1. Here 0 of order 1, that means z equal to 1 is a simple 0, but z equal to 2 is a double 0, and z equal to minus 2 is a double 0, and z equal to 3 is a 0 of order 3. And singularity means for which value of z fz does not exist. Clear? That is the singularity. That means the function is not analytic. For which value of z fz is does not exist. That value is called the singularity. That value of z is called the singularity of the given function fz. Is this definition is clear to everybody? It will be required every time for this chapter. What is the order? What is the simple 0? What is the singularity? Is this definition is clear to everybody? If not, please ask me. So there is
Yes.
no question. So we are going for the next part. Now we are going for isolated and non-isolated singularities. Isolated and non-isolated singularities. The singularity z equal to alpha a singularity z equal to alpha of a function fz is said to be an is said to be an isolated singularity if there is no other if there is no other singularity within a small neighborhood NBT means neighborhood of z equal to alpha. If it is not isolated, then it is called non-isolated singularity. So a singularity z equal to alpha is said to be isolated singularity if there is no other singularity within a small neighborhood of z equal to alpha. Then it is isolated. If there is something one, then it is non-isolated. Now take an example f z equal to, if we take one example f z equal to 1 by z minus 1. This is the function. This function analytic everywhere, but this function, given function, it is analytic everywhere except z equal to 1, isn't it? For z equal to 1, this function does not exist. So z equal to 1 is a singular point or singularity of fj. Na? What is already we found? क्या समझ में आ रहा है तुम लोग?
हाँ सर आ रहा है।
देखो इधर में और कोई सिंगुलरिटी है z इक्वल टू अल्फा के सिवा? नहीं है. That means z equal to 1 is the isolated singularity. Right? Z equal to alpha is isolated singularity. Now next part is principal part of an analytic function. This principle means this principle, not PLE, PL. Principal part of an analytic function. Already we have learned that the Laurent theorem, what was given for Laurent theorem? Fz was summation n equal to 0 to infinity n z minus alpha whole to the power n plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn z minus alpha whole to the power minus n. This part is called the principal part. Second part. This part is called the principal part. Right? Second part is called the principal part of fz. Clear? Which part is the principal part? From the Laurent series, we are writing the Laurent series where the bn, coefficient of bn as well as the summation of z minus alpha whole to the power minus n is called the principal part of fz. Is it clear?
Yes,
so we
sir.
have to recall our Laurent series. Because of that, it is plays a very good role to our complex integration. Now we are going for next part. That is also very, very essential. Essential singularity. Essential singularity. If the principal part of fz contains an infinite number of terms, then the singularity z equal to alpha, then the singularity z equal to alpha is called an essential singularity. So principal part means the second part. If it is holds the infinite number of terms, then the singularity z equal to alpha is called an essential singularity. Another part, second part, what was the second part? Second part means summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn z minus alpha whole to the power minus n, right? It was second part. It was our principal part. Look at here, the power is minus n. If n is starting from 1, 2, 3, then this series will be going for the infinite series, no? Isn't it? As the power is given minus n, we know that if power equal to n equal to minus n or n by p, either it is negative or it is fraction, then the series going to infinity. Do you have this idea about the infinite series? If power is negative, from the binomial theorem from class 11 binomial theorem, we know that if the power of n, power of the given function, that is here z minus alpha, it is either negative or fraction, then it will be given the infinite series. So here, if we are taking n equal to 1, 2, 3, but when we take n equal to minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, then it will be given the finite. But here it is not possible, n equal to starting from 1 to infinity. So we have to take the n, actually the here n belongs to this, no? N belongs to the natural number. We cannot take the negative or 0. Because of that, here n running over 1, 2, 3 dot dot. So n belongs to n. So as here the power is negative, so it will be given the infinite number of the series, where infinite number of the terms of z will be given here. So this part will be then z equal to alpha should be said that essential singularity. Is it clear now? ये समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next part, very important, what is called pole. If the principal part of fz contains a finite number of terms, say m, then the singularity z equal to alpha is called a pole. Is called a pole of fz of order m, of fz of order m, of order m. समझ में आया? So we recall the Laurent series. Fz was summation, sorry, n equal to 0 to infinity n z minus alpha whole to the power n plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn z minus alpha whole to the power minus n. It can be again writing that summation n equal to 0 to infinity n z minus alpha whole to the power n plus, now put n equal to 1, then it will be coming b1 by z minus alpha na plus b2 by z minus alpha whole square plus b3 by z minus alpha whole cube plus b4 by z minus alpha whole to the power 4 plus dot dot plus, if we take within the m part, bm by z minus alpha whole to the power m. Obviously bm not equal to 0. That is, in Laurent series, the highest power of highest power of one by z minus alpha. What is the highest power here? M is finite and this finite highest power and this finite highest power is the order of the pole. When m equal to 1, then it is called simple pole. Simple pole. So that was the definition of our pole. So if the principal part fz contains a finite number of terms, here it is second part contains a finite number of terms, that is m terms, then highest power of 1 by z minus alpha, here highest power of 1 by z minus alpha, obviously bm not equal to 0, so this part cannot be given 0. 1 by z minus alpha, highest power is m, which is finite, then we can say that z equal to alpha is a pole of order m. When this m equal to 1, then we can say that it is simple pole. Is it clear what is the pole and what is the essential singularity? For the essential singularity, the second part will be infinite. For pole, second part will be finite. Then we have to take the highest order of 1 by z minus alpha, that is the order of pole. If it is 1, then it is simple pole. Is it clear?
सर पोल वालों में भी तो यहाँ माइनस एन लगा हुआ है सर, ये भी तो इनफिनाइट हो जाएगा ना सर?
Minus n है ना? Look at that. Z minus alpha whole to the power minus n. It can be written 1 by z minus alpha whole to the power n ना? इसको हम लोग ये लिख सकते हैं?
यस सर।
और ऊपर में क्या था bn, so bn into this होगा. तो देखो इधर में 1 बैठा हो तो ये पार्ट आएगा ना, वही किए हैं हम. When we put n equal to 1, then it will be coming b1 by z minus alpha. When we put here n equal to 2, then it will be coming b2 by z minus alpha whole square. When we put n equal to 3, then b3 by z minus 3 whole to the power cube. Now it is clear.
Yes.
Please mute yourself. Someone. So that was the pole, definition of pole. Now take an example of pole. Now next part is residue theorem.
सर पोल का एग्जांपल देंगे ना?
देंगे देंगे देंगे। वो पिछले जो एग्जाम्पल था, लुक एट हियर, fz equal to z square plus 2z plus 5. If we take that, it is z plus 2 into z minus 3. Then if we put that z equal to minus 2, then denominator is 0. So z equal to minus 2 is a singularity. z equal to minus 2 is a singularity, होगा ना?
Yes, sir.
देखो पोल किसको बोलते हैं? Look at here. fz equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity n z minus alpha whole to the power n plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn z minus alpha whole to the power minus n. तो ये पार्ट में अगर ये होगा, देखो ये जब एसेंशियल ये सिंगुलरिटी हो गया, z equal to minus 2 and z equal to 3, they are the singularity. Now for this bn, it can be written that bn by z minus alpha whole to the power n. So here z equal to minus 2 and z equal to 3, right? If we put, actually here it is bn by z plus 2 whole to the power what? कुछ नहीं है इधर में तो 1, तो ये हो जाएगा b1 by this, right? So z equal to minus 2 is a simple pole. This is a simple pole. If there it is given that this cube, then bn by z minus 3 whole to the power n. What is the value of n here? N equal to 3. So z equal to 3 is a pole of order 3. Clear हुआ?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? हाँ, यही है पोल. इधर में देखो z plus 1 whole to the power 1 है, that is finite. z equal to 1 finite, that is 1, then it is simple pole. Here z equal to 3, that is also finite. N is given finite, that is 3. 3 is the finite number. So n equal to finite, but here n equal to 3. So z is a pole, z equal to 3 is a pole of order 3.
Hello, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
ये सब जितना फोटो है सर एलएमएस में अपलोड कर दीजिएगा ना?
ये सब कैसे अपलोड करेंगे? ये सब
इससे
तुम लोग
पहले वाला सर
screenshot-
जो
हाँ, ये सब तुम लोग स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रखो. ये सब एक एक करके करना बहुत आसान काम नहीं है इसमें, इसलिए ना हम बोर्ड चुने हैं. तुम लोग भी साथ में कॉपी रखो, इसको कॉपी करो.
सर यूट्यूब में डालिएगा ना सर?
हाँ, यूट्यूब में वो वीडियो डाल देंगे, लेकिन ये सब स्नैप एलएमएस में अपलोड करना ठीक नहीं है.
ठीक है.
हाँ सर मैं तो किए थे सर बोर्ड वर्क में.
हाँ हाँ
फर्स्ट टाइम में तो अपलोड किए थे सर.
हाँ हाँ ठीक. So next part is, time is running out. Today there is no time, so next day we are going for the residue theorem. ठीक है, आज जो पॉसिबल नहीं है रेसिड्यू थ्योरम कराना. रेसिड्यू होने से ये जो हम लोगों का कॉम्प्लेक्स इंटीग्रेशन है ये खत्म हो जाएगा. इसमें बहुत सारे एग्जांपल भी है. सो नेक्स्ट डे विल गो फॉर द रेसिड्यू थ्योरम एज वेल एज एग्जांपल. After this, 2 class will be needed